tighten up the line. One more. Why don't we just break out in the jog here, people?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's run.
Mr. Deivelbis is the Vice President of the School Board. Mrs. Stone, Mr. Bunnell, Mrs. Spearman, and Mrs. Dalp is the Treasurer of the School Board. Also we have with us Dr. Selesky, our Superintendent. We give him a hand at this time. I would like to take this time to thank those that have put a lot of work in today's ceremony. The Frederick County Athletic Boosters came down here and spent a day working and cleaning up the grounds, and we appreciate the work that they've done down here. Our custodians have worked hard today putting things together. Mrs. Ogle, my secretary, she's done an outstanding job of putting the programs together and just helping keeping things organized. And to Mr. Miller for the work that he does getting the band down here, and for the band members that are here today. And to the good Lord for the nice day that we have. We appreciate all these people that have worked hard to put this together. At this time, I'd like to introduce the salutatorian of the class of 1987. Todd Klein is a salutatorian this year. He has been a member of the 4th Estate staff, marching band, concert band, pep band, percussion ensemble, National Honor Society, District Scholarship Team, the Americanism in Government Award winner. He was an Algebra 2 Award winner, Biology Award winner, Outstanding Marching Band student, District 10 Honors Band, Ohio Board of Regents Scholarship, the Mount Vernon Community Trust Scholarship, Kenyon College Scholarship. He is a Senior Social Studies Division II. He won first in the district, first in the state, and second in the district of all schools. He was voted most boy likely to succeed. He was Elk Student of the Month, Exchange Club Youth of the Month and of the Year, the Mount Vernon News Senior of the Week, and the Daughters of American Revolution Citizenship Award. And it can go on and on and on. A very outstanding young man, very pleased that he is the salutatorian. We'd like for Todd D. Klein to come at this time.
Okay. 13 years ago, the students you see before you were an unknown quantity. Boys and girls from many different backgrounds and lifestyles were just thrown together. Through time, patience, and enormous pressure, that group of students was molded into a class. I wish to take you on a very, very brief journey to the life and evolution of the class of 1987. We start our journey in kindergarten, our first social experience outside the home. I don't know how much socialization one can do during that time, but otherwise, we learned some traditions that we later use to our advantage, such as recess. Classes were divided into mornings and afternoons, with the morning children learning about another favorite school tradition, waking up early. First grade allowed the afternoon children to catch up with the morning children and miss sleep. We're also grown up enough so we didn't cry when we had to leave our mommies for the entire day. By third grade, we probably all welcomed the time away from our parents. Elementary school laid the foundation for later learning in all subjects, but what really mattered wasn't grades, but progress. Who could ever forget the magic moments when your mother first saw your grade card and said, "Timmy, I'm so proud of your grade card. All S's except for that N in working with others." Now, that's why they wouldn't buy the ice cream. As we progressed through school, the silliness of S's and N's for grades turned into a more adult grading system, D's and F's. Even then, we were ready to turn into adults with adult responsibilities. How many of you can remember getting married behind the white barn? Raise your hand, anybody. Adolescence arrived for most of the girls by 6th grade, though some are still waiting. The boys were jealous of the girls, I'd have to admit. We all wanted our voices to change so we could sing the bass part to Barbara Ann. Junior high was a completely new offering, though. Each day was divided into periods with completely new classes and a teacher to kid around with every day. Keep this on. Assignments were tougher and discipline was discipline, but now we had school activities such as sports and school dances to take our minds off our troubles. Until that dial admire how Brad Overholt got the girls to dance with him at the 8th grade dance, I understand that it still works, does it, Brad? Finally, we made it to high school. I don't believe any of us would have figured our way through the building without that elevator. I'm not going to dwell on every event of the past 4 years, because we can relive those moments when we're at our 50th reunion, when we're all 68 years old with children and grandchildren sick and tired of hearing of our stories. I would like to say that I'm very proud to graduate with the class of 1987, and this is the end.
I'd like to take this time to recognize the faculty that's in attendance today. I'd like for the faculty to stand. Let's give the faculty a hand today. The valedictorian this year is Peggy L. Bowling. Peggy has been involved in yearbook staff, marching band, concert band, show choir, rural state, district state scholarship team, drill team, took basketball statistics, Ohio Board of Regents certificate, awarded distinction for basic studies, Mount Vernon News Senior of the Week, Junior Miss Scholastic Achievement Award, Americanism and Government winner, Danford Award winner, Outstanding Physics student, Elks Student of the Month, Presidential Academic Fitness Award, National Honor Society, Outstanding Math student, 17th in the district in chemistry. She's been involved in Girl Scouts. She's won the Silver Award, the Golden Leadership Award. She's worked as an assistant scout leader, worked at Girl Scout camp, been involved in her church youth groups, church activities, 4-H, and the list goes on and on and on. And you know, you wonder when a person is so involved in so many activities, how they ever find time to do their schoolwork and to have time for themselves. But somewhere along the line there, Peggy was organized, got it all together, and we're very proud of her, and we'd like for her to come at this time. Peggy Bowen.
Fellow graduates, faculty, honored guests, family, and friends, we are here today to witness an end and a beginning for 87 friends. For each of us, this is an end of our childhood and the beginning of adulthood. Our class motto, "A day is not wasted if a memory is made," refers to the past 13 years that we have spent together. Each of us has his own memories from those 13 years. However, today is the day for us to pack up our childhood memories and move on into adulthood. Deciding what to say about our future was very difficult for me. After much deliberation, I realized that there are 3 points about the future I want to leave with my classmates. The first point I would like you to consider is education. All of us will be receiving some type of education, whether it be formal, as the military or some educational institution, or informal, through experience or self-discovery. Whether we realize it or not, we are always learning from our experiences. This is not always easy because we often learn more from the mistakes and painful experiences than we do from the things we do well. For example, a baby's mother tries for hours to teach it to say mama by patterning, encouraging, and praising him. Despite all the support and effort on the part of the mother and the baby, it takes him much longer to learn to say mama than it takes him to learn to put his hand on a hot stove again. Formally or informally, we must not learn only from our mistakes, but be able to accept them as a learning experience, not as a defeat. Only then are we able to maintain a sense of values and go forward again. No matter how you achieve this education, use it to the fullest to enrich your lives and become even better people. The second point I would like you to consider is best summed up in the quote, "Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go." All of us have spent 13 years working for a common goal, graduation from high school. With that goal achieved, it is time for each of us to set new goals. It is my wish that every one of you will find out just how far you can go. This can only be achieved by setting goals that may seem a little impossible to reach. But don't let that scare you away. Once you've accomplished what you thought was impossible, you'll not only surprise yourself, but you'll have a sense of pride about what you have done. Then it is time for you to set another almost impossible goal. However, if for some reason you don't achieve that almost impossible goal, do not feel as though you have failed. You have achieved more by stretching yourself than the person who is content with staying the same. For the rest of our lives, we will be setting goals, achieving those goals, and setting more higher goals. I hope that each of you will be surprised and proud each time you accomplish another goal. The last point I would like you to consider is success. Webster's New World Dictionary gives us the 4th definition of success, the gaining of wealth, fame, rank, etc. I prefer Bessie Anderson Stanley's definition of success. Her definition sums up the first 3 entries given under the definition of success in Webster's. Mrs. Stanley says, "He has achieved success who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much." I prefer this definition not only for what it says, but for what it doesn't say. Mrs. Stanley describes success in terms of plenty of living, laughing, and loving. She made no mention of plenty of money, many cars, or a big house, criteria we often use superficially to judge success. It would be very sad if in the future we were to allow being a success keep us from being successful people. I hope that all of us achieve success by Mrs. Stanley's definition.
This time I'd like for the class president to come, Mary Ann Jenkins. Mary Ann has been involved in many activities here at school, and she's been an outstanding class president. We want Mary Ann to come at this time.
The graduating class of 1987 is grateful to many people for many things. I've been president of the class for 4 years, and to reach this first great milestone in our lives, we have been like the little engine who in the beginning, when started up the hill, kept repeating, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. The big hill started with show and tell, singing the lollipop song every day, to outdoor school in the 6th grade, to the work, the agonizing, the fun, the final joy of success of the many projects associated with band, difficult classes mastered, cheerleading, football, and many other sports. We say thank you to the administration, the members of the school board, and the faculty who took our young minds and helped mold them into graduating seniors. To our parents who have loved us, supported us, and taught us that I think I can really is, I can. Thus we, the graduating seniors of 1987, have reached this important milestone. We're truly grateful. Again, to all of you, thank you. And also the class of 1987 will be giving a scheduling board to the school as our class gift. Thank you.
It is something that is greatly needed. We thank you for it. At this time, I'd like for Dr. Selesky to come. He's going to present the Ohio Academic Scholarship. Dr. Selesky, the Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to recognize a student as a recipient of the Ohio Board of Regents scholarship. And I'd like to call Todd D. Klein here before me, please. Let's recognize Todd. As I make this presentation, I'd like you to know that this scholarship, the Certificate of Award from the State of Ohio, is based on Todd's test scores and his academic achievement. The sum total amount of the award is for $4,000. That's $1,000 per year. And the certificate reads as follows. Todd D. Klein has demonstrated superior academic achievement in the Ohio high school system and is hereby awarded 1987-88 Ohio Academic Scholarship from the Ohio Board of Regents. Congratulations, Todd. At this time, I understand it's customary for the superintendent to make several remarks. I recognize that there are a few things that ought to be said, certainly before the opportunity is lost, and that is congratulations to the class of 1987. I know you're extremely happy this day has arrived. It's been a long time in coming. To the parents of the graduates, I think it's been somewhat summarized earlier, but time certainly has gone by very quickly from that first time that you saw your student off on the school bus. And to the grandparents who are present, certainly you may be very, very proud today to see the reflection not only of your influence upon your children, but then their influence as parents upon your grandchildren. And to the faculty and the school officials present, all trials and tribulations involved in education today is certainly worth it when we see the outstanding class standing before us. Now, when I reflected on the kind of remarks I might make, I struggled a bit, I must say, because I knew that with the different speeches and remarks being made today, particularly after listening to the baccalaureate service the other day, it's very difficult to add to what has already been said. And I did recall a situation once where a superintendent having a similar feeling decided that he would do something rather different in his remarks. In fact, he wanted his actions to speak for his words, rather, because he thought that there was nothing he could say possibly that could ever be remembered. And so this gentleman decided to do a handstand at graduation. This is, I understand, a true story. It was told to me when I arrived in Knox County. Of course, there are a lot of stories that go around the county. But I'll let you figure out where it occurred. But it's my understanding that the graduating class does remember what happened. They don't remember who did it, but they do remember that the superintendent stood on his head. The Board of Education wasn't that impressed, nor was the community, because they thought that's what he should be doing 5 days out of the week anyway. So I pursued this a little bit further and thought I might recount a personal experience. And I'm at that point in my career or my age that I'm kind of startled when I look at this class of 1987, because it was just 18 years ago that I graduated from high school. Now, that's not so startling to a lot of people because you've already passed by that point. I know certainly the people behind me are older than I am, and many of you there. See, I'm trying to draw some kinship here with the graduating class. I think we have more in common than some of the folks surrounding us. But certainly when I consider that I'm twice the age of the graduates, and there are folks around me that are, 2 and 3, almost 4 times our age, it's something to consider here. I recall it was just 18 years ago that, I was at a graduation ceremony, and I tried to recount what had happened and took place. We didn't have a superintendent stand on his head, but I did have an assistant principal try to maintain control in the school just prior to the ceremony, because, as graduates, you know what an atmosphere is created on your last day. Everyone's in a good mood. And we had a rather large class, and my name ending in S meant that I was at the end of the line. And when the assistant principal came by to make certain everyone was doing what they're supposed to be doing, we started kidding him, saying, why are we having to learn how to stand in line and practice walking in line? We started that the first day in kindergarten. And here we are doing it again. And he knew that if the attitude would persist, that he might have some problems with the ceremony. So he said, look, you can't come back again and do this. You can never come back to high school again. And that set a rather somber tone. And that, he was a good coach in addition to being an assistant principal. And he certainly gained our attention because what he focused on was our attitude at that point in time. And what I want to just remark here is that attitude plays a great deal in the influence of our future. The attitude that we have is influenced by so many factors. It's influenced, graduates, by your parents, by your teachers, by the friends, by the people you associate with. It's also influenced by our experiences, both good and bad, and it's also influenced, of course, by our relationship with God. But as individuals, we need to take what we have drawn from the system, put it together, and that's reflected in our attitude. And our attitude has so much to do with whether or not we look at problems as challenges, or we look at difficulties as opportunities. Oftentimes our attitude can defeat us before we try. It was so helpful to hear a remark that we can do things, and that parents go a long way into giving the students the idea they can accomplish whatever they set out to do. But to reflect on attitude just one bit more, and also to consider that graduates, you can never come back to Fredericktown High School again. That doesn't mean to say we wouldn't be interested in having you walk through the gate at an academic or athletic event. But you can only do some things once. And this is one of those milestones in life where you'll never again wish you'll pass. And I am very optimistic with this graduating class because I really do believe they hold the promise for the future. Because a good attitude, or the right attitude for the right situation, will carry them far. And so, as we watch the graduates proceed to step up and receive their diploma, let's reflect on the individuality that each of them brings to this class, and let's also recount and thank the blessings that each of them possesses, the kind of attitude that's going to carry them very, very far. Congratulations again to the class of 1987.
This class very much. You have been leaders. Much of the success that we have experienced this year has been because of the leadership of the class of 1987. We will miss you. We will always cherish the memories, both good and bad, but we will cherish the memories. And I would challenge you to dream dreams and to reach for the highest stars. Never give up and always work hard for your goal. You have been an outstanding class, and I appreciate your cooperation and your work this year very much. May the Lord bless you. At this time, I'd like for Mr. Holtry to come forth. It's my privilege to present to you the class of 1987. They have met all obligations and all requirements set forth by the State Board of Education and by the Fredericktown Board of Education. And I'd like to present to you the class of 1987.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harper. Extremely pleased to be able to have, as it shows in your bulletin remarks, I think that telling how many years ago I graduated wouldn't mean anything at this point, or even if I graduated. I think it is important, though. I have a few things I would like to say to the graduating class of 1987. First of all, I'd like to take an opportunity, and it's not that often that there's this many people gathered together from the community. I'd like to thank the community for all the responsibility and hard work, all the things that they've contributed to make this 1987 class a success. Without your support, we wouldn't have the kind of a school system we have here at Fredericktown High School. So I appreciate that very much. Now the graduating class of 1987, a few remarks. I'd like to say that life is made up of more things than A's, B's, C's, and D's, and even as Todd mentioned, maybe F's. Made up of more than diplomas and 12 years of hard work and experiences. And I think you already know that. I didn't need to say that. I think life is a challenge. And I think that there needs to be people to meet those challenges. And as you journey through life, I have three things that I'd like to say to you at this time. One is be honest and trustworthy in all things. Let your yes mean yes and let your no's mean no. If you'll do that in all your dealings and all your actions, it'll help make you successful. Number two, and I see this as a thing that's very much important in a society of today, is love your parents. Don't forget your parents. They're the ones that raised you up. They love you, and they've only wanted the best for you all these years. They've made mistakes, and when you get older, you reserve the right to make the very same mistakes that they've made, or if you feel they've made with your children. Number 3, couldn't help but think on Senior Awards Day, as I walked in the gymnasium a little late, everyone was standing and pledging to the American flag. I'd like to borrow a phrase from that pledge that everyone made, where it comes down through there and it says, "One nation under God." We can't have one nation under God without godly people. We can't have freedom and justice without people with direction. Every Sunday, there's thousands of people in this community that go to buildings, establishments throughout the community to worship God. I would challenge you to find that God and to worship that God, to make Him a real living part of your life. I would like to say congratulations to the 1987 class of Earlytown High School. Always remember that you're very special people. Thank you.
I'd like for the seniors to prepare to receive their diploma at this time. Okay, we're ready to start here now. Peggy Lyons Bowling, valedictorian. Todd Douglas Klein, salutatorian. Mary Ann Jenkins, class president. Anthony Francis Shabby, vice president. Kimberly Sue Lyon, secretary. Brooke Henwood, treasurer. Sherry Ann Huffstutler, honor student. Bradley Richard Overholt, honor student. Gordon Christopher Scott, honor student. Michelle Lynn Speck, honor student. Jennifer Rachel Weichel, honor student. Beverly Jean Wheeler, honor student. William Clarence Bryant, Jr. Cindy Lou Canner. Matthew Allen Burden. Mary Ann Carter. William L. Bushon. Marsha Lynn Chandler. Jerry Campbell. Jennifer K. Dean. Troy Douglas Carpenter. Delfina Maria de la Garza. Christopher Chad Chadden. Denise Dulcine Ewers. Jeffrey Scott Clayton. Andrew G. Collins, Jr. Hayes. Troy David Craze. Sally Ann Ford. Curtis Edward Cunningham. Michelle Lynn Jones. Bruce Lloyd Dalton. Jennifer Elaine Canady. Richard Scott Davis. Christine Lynn Kenton. Terry Ray Frazier. Susan Levon Collis. Karina Joy Lynn. Brian Thomas Fry. Christina Lee Lotz. Timothy Allen Grove. Angel Marie Moen. Denzel G. Hart II. Susan Beth Hall. Scott Dwayne Helmick. Michelle Murphy Perkins. Dennis Ray Hines. Amy K. Perry. Veronica Danielle Pritchett. Jason Thomas Hunt. Brenda J. Redmond. Robert E. Kirshner Jr. Beverly Joe Sheldon. Joseph Scott Ketter. Carol Jeanette Shaw. Nathan Robert Masenchik. Buffy Ann Simmons. Frederick Michael Murphy. Angela Snavely. Dennis Allen Phillips. Karen Dawn Spearman. Craig Allen Reed. Jody Lynn Stevens. Scott Edward Riley. Christine Louise Stone. David Samuel Rudder. Rebecca Lynn Swihart. Thor Trescott Sage. Karina Nicole Waddell. Jamie L. Shipley. Scott Wilson Spencer. Michael Thomas Steele. Donald E. Stout II. Randolph Ray Swihart. Kevin Ray Seiler. Matthew Allen Thompson. Tom Vern Traxler. Matthew Earl Allman. Jeremy Scott Van Meter. Christopher Lyle Wagner. William Paul Wagner. John Morris Wareham. Todd Aaron Wilkinson. Philip Brent Witchy. Eamon L.T. Crane.
I don't like pictures.
Teacher class of 1987.
Shall we stand?
Want to join us this afternoon, this has been our Father, as we have been able to honor these who have reached this milestone in life. And we are so grateful, Father, for this important hurdle that has been passed. Now, Father, as another stage of life begins, we would pray for each that they might receive enough challenge to keep each striving, enough struggle also to keep each humble, enough love to keep building self-esteem, and also enough strength to overcome the many hurdles ahead in life. So may your blessing and benediction rest with us, and particularly with the class of 1987. Through Christ our Lord.
Hey, it's been nice, buddy.
here, you can look over this way because we get a good one here. Christine?
Christine!
Where are you going, Luke?
Catching a plane, Bob.
Oh, man.
New York.
Okay. Take care.
Hey, look at me.